All right, let's jump right into it. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are mapping out the biology of belly fat, and we're doing it chronologically. We're taking the core research and breaking it down into a highly actionable, day in the life blueprint for tackling that stubborn midsection. It's probably the most common hurdle in personal health, right? You feel like you're doing everything right, but you're still fighting this incredibly stubborn midsection. Well, there's a biological reason for that. Visceral fat, that deeper belly fat that surrounds your organs, is literally built to be more stubborn than subcutaneous fat elsewhere on your body. It actually has a much higher concentration of these things called alpha receptors, which, to put it simply, actively slow down the fat burning process. It's like they're hitting the brakes on your progress. That is exactly why it feels so insanely difficult to lose compared to fat anywhere else. We often overcomplicate how we fight it, and honestly, that just sets us up for an exhausting cycle of effort and disappointment. And the modern diet industry, yeah, they definitely take advantage of that frustration. They push us toward extreme fasting and these supposed magic pill supplements, selling the idea that reversing years of metabolic adaptation requires some radical, restrictive intervention. But here is the real biological truth. Targeting visceral fat doesn't rely on something flashy. It relies on compounding daily habits. We're not talking about a magical 10-day cleanse here. It's entirely about the momentum of your straightforward everyday routines. It's about what you do from the second you wake up to the moment your head hits the pillow. So let's just start our day in the life blueprint right at the very beginning of your morning. Okay, imagine your alarm just went off. Before you grab that coffee, before you even think about breakfast, your very first action is simply to start your day with a big glass of water. Now, I know it sounds way too simple, but the biological impact is actually profound. Proper hydration triggers a really cool process called water-induced thermogenesis. Basically, drinking a large glass of water first thing in the morning can temporarily boost your resting energy expenditure by up to 30%. That is a massive jumpstart for your metabolism. Plus, it helps control hunger right out of the gate, so you don't end up confusing early morning dehydration with a genuine craving for food. Moving on, the next crucial metric for your day is 30. Finding just 30 minutes to walk is arguably your absolute best daily defense against stubborn fat. And the science behind why is fascinating. It's really not just about burning a few extra calories. Low-intensity steady-state cardio, like a brisk walk, specifically helps manage your cortisol levels. Cortisol is your body's primary stress hormone, and chronically high cortisol, well, that is a massive driver for storing visceral fat. A daily 30-minute walk actively lowers that stress response. It effectively tells your body, hey, we're safe, it's okay to release that stored belly fat. So, as we cruise into the middle of the day, our focus shifts to swapping out hidden liquid calories for smarter fuel. Get this, because it's a pretty surprising fact, the average adult accidentally consumes over 400 hidden liquid calories a day without even realizing it. That's like eating an entire extra meal you didn't even want. Sodas and sweetened drinks cause rapid insulin spikes, which act like a direct, high-speed shuttle driving fat straight to your midsection. Swapping those sugary beverages for high-protein options, think eggs, fish, chicken, or beans, does the exact opposite. Protein stabilizes your blood sugar, prevents those massive insulin spikes, and provides lasting satiety to keep you fueled and focused all afternoon. All right, now we transition to the nighttime routine. Your day is done, and winding down with 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, while it is not a luxury, it is an absolutely vital metabolic reset. It's crazy because people will obsess over the water, the walking, the protein, but then they'll sleep for only 5 hours and wonder why their midsection isn't changing one bit. Your body actually does its heavy lifting for fat repair and metabolic regulation while you are completely asleep. Here is exactly what happens when you skimp on rest. When you consistently get less than 7 hours of sleep, your endocrine system basically goes into a state of total panic. It suppresses leptin, which is the hormone that tells your brain, hey, we're full, and it sharply spikes ghrelin, the hormone that makes you feel ravenously hungry. So a lack of restorative sleep essentially sabotages your daytime efforts on a cellular level. It literally ensures you wake up the next day biologically wired to crave high-calorie, sugary foods. Keeping those specific hunger hormones balanced is the hidden key to making weight loss actually manageable. So let's step back for a second and look at the whole picture. We've transformed all that confusing, noisy weight loss advice into one cohesive daily routine. From waking up with that thermogenic glass of water and walking off the excess cortisol, to fueling up with stabilizing proteins, and then protecting all that metabolic progress with high-quality sleep. It just flows perfectly from morning to night, right? You're creating this biological environment where visceral fat simply has no physiological reason to stick around anymore. Now, the ultimate truth of human biology is that belly fat doesn't disappear overnight. There is no rapid fix. And you know what? Understanding that is actually incredibly freeing. It means you don't have to be totally perfect for one extreme, highly restrictive week. You just have to be consistent. Consistency is the actual mechanism that forces your metabolism to adapt over time. If you commit to these daily routines, your body will eventually realign, and the results, they will absolutely follow. Which brings us to the most important question of all. Which habit are you going to start today? You definitely don't have to overhaul your entire life by tomorrow morning. Actually, scratch that. Please don't try to change everything at once. Just pick one. Are you going to place a glass of water by your bed tonight? Or maybe schedule a 30-minute walk to clear out that midday cortisol? Knowledge is only power when it's actively applied, right? Choose your very first step, take action on your health, and start building that consistency today. So, what's it going to be? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I really can't wait to see how you put this blueprint into practice.